Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach. Welcome to our podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. What you drinking?
I am so excited. Okay, so I am currently in my kids' condo. And so I am drinking.
So this isn't your new wall in your house, I'm guessing.
Not the new wall in my house. This is my son's. And this is like, as a feng shui practitioner, super proud of my 20-year-old football player because on this wall, he has a whole bunch of records and they're all Johnny Cash records. And I said, well, that's interesting. Like how you did that, like how he just put tiny little like finishing nails in and they're sort of just sitting there. Right. And he said, well, it's my wall of cash.
He's listening.
Like, you're awesome. Some days you piss me off, but today you're awesome. But I just thought it was so cool. It's his wall of cash. It's all Johnny Cash. Like how awesome to have that connection.
Yeah. And that might not mean that same thing to just anybody, but to him, he sees a wall of cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, great message.
Totally. Yes. And yeah, I love it. It's actually in family ancestor. So maybe it's gonna and they are my in-laws. They're my in-laws records. He got them from my in-laws. So I mean it's cool all around. It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, I am coming from here. So I am drinking. I'm at the mercy of my daughter right now. So this is the best drink ever.
Oh.
I'm drinking blue curacao. I think that's how you say it.
Okay. Don't even know what that is.
It's a liqueur that tastes like, I don't know, it doesn't even say. It tastes like blue.
Blue is good.
Full of sugar. It's full of sugar.
She's anyway, like 19, of course it is.
Right. Okay. So it's blue curacao. And then it is this sweet and sour lemon mixer. Then this is my son's lime bubbly. So I yes, I have combined them and they look the color of antifreeze. I love this color. Like I'm obsessed with this color.
Do you know what that color is? Oh. That's Breaking Bad blue.
Breaking Bad blue?
Did you never watch Breaking Bad?
Never.
Well, we have Walter White, our dog. He was the main character and he made meth.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? But we used to have parties at the premieres and the finales. Yeah, because it was such a big deal. So we would have everything blue parties. And so we would have blue drinks. We would have rock candy. Everyone would get a little baggie of rock candy because it looked like blue meth.
Oh my gosh.
That drink would have been perfect. I guess we need to bring Breaking Bad back.
Yeah. Reruns.
Right.
Rerun party.
Netflix.
It is like awesome. And it is so pretty. I should put it on our page. But
I think so.
What are you drinking today?
Oh, I'm out on a limb today. I'm drinking out of a can.
Yay. My favorite.
Just some lemon water.
Oh, wow.
Just some lemon water out of a can. They don't have my bottles at HEB. There's some distribution problem.
Oh, no.
So Paul found me the cans. He's like, well, I don't want to buy the cans. We're wasteful if we use the cans. And I'm like, buy me the cans. I need the cans. It's not the same as the bottle, but it will do.
Right.
So,
okay. So I want to talk about something that you don't want to talk about because I think it is like the message is so good. And so we're going to talk about it for like 13 milliseconds. But when we got on the call, you said to me that you hadn't been feeling very good. And I said, do you want to talk about that? And you said, absolutely not, because I don't want to give it any attention. And I'm like, well, wait, this is a good message. And so I am bringing it up because I knew that you would not. Now you're cornered.
Correct.
Now you have to talk about it for 13 more milliseconds.
And I
but
can't throw a temper tantrum because we're in the middle of a
we're
recording.
live. We're live. So I've got you.
So
But I love this. I love the concept because I think when we're sick, what do?
we tell
Like
everybody.
we tell everybody and we
Yeah.
fucking whine about it. And we whine about it. Oh, I'm so sick.
Everybody.
Is.
And even when we're saying, pray for me, or whatever we're saying,
Oh, yeah.
we're claiming it. And we're
Yes.
saying, I am, that whatever we say after I am is what we are.
We are.
And we make it bigger and we stay there longer. And the idea is to talk about what we want, not what we don't.
Exactly.
Now, if you need to go see a doctor, you might tell the doctor. You don't need to walk in his office and go, oh, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not saying or telling people to say when the shit hits the fan, oh, everything's good. Everything's good. It's not a, what is the word I'm looking for? Where you're stuffing it under a rug. It's putting it aside going, yeah, this is true right now. But what do I want? Correct. This is not what I want. I realize this is currently what is happening to me.
Yeah.
But where am I going and what do I want? This is not it. Let's focus on what I want.
I think when we talk about it in an effort to be cathartic and move forward or journal on it.
Yeah.
But when we talk about it to feed it, or when we talk about something to get some attention, not to actually feel better or to move through it or to heal, but to get attention for being sick, we feed that illness and then we want to stay sicker. Like it's twisted.
It's another dopamine hit.
It is. It is. Pay attention to me. I'm so sick. Oh my gosh. And so I loved that you didn't even want to come on here and talk about it. And I'm forcing.
Thanks, Sandra.
I know. But you're taking one for the team here because we're talking about it so that everyone else doesn't feed their
so illness. They can think about it. Yeah. Because once you start looking at different ways to process things and to recognize things, then it's like, oh, because we don't realize what we do to ourselves when we tell everybody where we currently are right now that we hate, whether it's in our job, whether it's in our marriage, whether it's our kids, whether it's, I don't know, our health, our money.
And it's not abnormal because the majority of people, you know, what's interesting, like this, I don't know if I talked about this before, but when I worked in the prison, I would walk through we would, my friend and I, we would come in every morning together and we would walk through this like sort of big open area. And often, because it was sort of like a mall, like hallway. And so often we would come upon someone that was coming towards. And these people would say to me, oh, hi, Sandra, how are you? And I would say, great, thanks. And that's it. And she would say, why are you such an asshole? Like, why don't you say, how are you? And I said, because I don't care. Like, I don't even know this person's last name. Why would I I don't, you know, if I really wanted, and they didn't want to know my answer either. It was like this thing that people do. It's this thing that we just fall into, like just asking someone how they are and then keeping on walking and not not waiting to be answered.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it's that automatic stuff that we just do that we think is nice. Someone asks us, how are you doing? And you, oh my God, I'm so sick.
Yeah.
And
you have a minute, let's talk about it.
Right. And it's common for us to do, I think. And so we don't actually think in terms of maybe this isn't serving me because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Best thing I think I ever heard was, or I'd ever had when I was a manager, there was a client that was very much stuck in his story of what was, what is, my life sucks kind of thing. And the case manager had come to me and said, I'm really struggling with this client because it's like an hour of just complaining. And I said, the best thing you can do is give him 5 minutes. Don't tell him he can't complain. but he's only got 5 minutes because you have progress to make.
Right.
And when we start to get into that, like 15, 20, let's
Oh,
go for coffee for 3 hours and bitch about our husbands or whatever, that
mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
destructiveness, it's common, but it's not helping us move
It's
forward.
it's keeping us stuck. And
Ab-
it's almost like that's how we were taught to communicate. Tell me
Yes.
everything that's going wrong.
Yes.
And I
Exactly.
remember years ago, I worked for this woman. Oh, she she was a lot of contrast, I'll say.
Mm.
But in the midst of working for she taught me a lot about what kind of person I wanted to be, about how I wanted to show up, because she showed me so many things that I was like, nope, not going to do that, not going to do.
Love that.
But it taught me a lot. But in the
Mhm.
midst of it, I remember I would walk 4.5 miles almost every day with my girlfriends. And they were different girlfriends because different girls could walk different days of the week.
Mhm.
And I found myself in 45-minute bitch session, but it wasn't me completely taking up that time. It was me bitching and them bitching, and it turned into this bitch fest, which made everything bigger and bigger until finally it just imploded. And I couldn't see that then. But was she a lot of contrast? Uh-huh. Did I make it, I'm not going to say bigger, but maybe bigger is the right word. Did
Right.
I amplify it? Did I shine the light on it? Did I make that everything? Uh-huh. Did
Yeah.
it get me what I wanted? Apparently, because I'm not there anymore. But
Right.
there are sometimes we have to learn to be quiet. We don't have to regurgitate all of the shit that's going on, unless
Yeah.
that's just what we want more of.
And I think we can tell. I always could tell
Mhm.
because I'm a Libra. I like balance. I like to see both sides. And I really appreciate Zen. I appreciate calm. Can
Mhm.
I get, can I get excitable? Absolutely. But also, can I be very, very Zen? Yes. My natural state is to not be complaining. My natural state is to not be angry. And I found I was going out for coffee with this one set of girls. And when I would come back, I just felt anxious and
Mhm.
not like myself. I didn't like myself after I'd come back
You didn't feel
from the
good.
15-minute coffee session.
Yeah.
It was like, it just felt like I had picked up on their, like, what was normal to them.
Mhm.
Then I added to it. I
Oh
like
yeah,
felt,
jump right in there. What can
yeah,
we bitch about now?
right. Oh, do you want to hear the gossip? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
and it wasn't my natural state. And I could tell because I felt agitated
Mhm.
every single day I came back from that lunch.
Because
Or
you were not in alignment with who you are. You are.
exactly.
You'd
Exactly.
gotten out of the vortex.
Absolutely. And I like to live in the
Mm.
vortex.
Well, we don't want to be in a monk-like state. We determined that last week. I
Okay,
did.
well, no, I might. We'll
Really?
see. We'll see if I turn into Eckhart Tolle here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Does he have sex?
Eckhart Tolle?
I mean,
I don't
see? I mean,
that
he
is
does not appear to be a sexual being.
he does not.
No. And
Why?
so I'm like, I don't know that I want to go that far. I just want
Maybe
to be
Oprah like.
happy.
Let's go Oprah like. I think
Okay.
Oprah still has sex with Stedman, I think.
I would think.
But I feel
Okay.
she is very knowledgeable and like
Yes. But she's
all
living life,
that she is,
even the contrast.
even in contrast. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
goal. Let's go
All
Oprah.
right.
Not quite
Oprah,
Eckhart.
not Eckhart. Okay.
Eckhart, we love you and we love your material. Keep it coming. But Oprah,
So
you're our
we're
girl.
both concerned about what happens in his bedroom,
It's
but
none of our business.
we're confident in Oprah. Okay.
Oprah, if we're wrong, please let us know.
Yeah. All right. Wait,
So,
so what else happened this week for you?
I had a really good session with a client that was so eye-opening. She's a little bit older than we are. She is starting a new career. She's had been staying home with her kids for 23 years, I guess, getting them raised. And
Nice.
now, well, hold on. Story's not over.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Um, she started a career this past year, and her son is leaving for college, and she feels like she should be in the place in her life where everything is done. Everything
Oh,
is finished, that she should not, she wants a membership to this golf club that's super, super, super expensive. And her husband is saving just about everything they have for retirement. He's being
okay.
smart. He's thinking, I don't need the payoff now. I want the payoff then. We've got to sacrifice now to have the payoff then. And so she's kind of pissed. Like,
Okay.
I should be able to not work and do whatever I want to do and go play golf all day at this super expensive place. And it should just happen. And
Okay.
she's missing the whole point that she can do that for them. She can let her husband take care of their retirement and set them up in a way that she cannot imagine, while she
Yeah.
can be her badass and go
Yeah.
create the golf membership and create the relationships with people, and and then she'll meet people on the golf course that'll help her business thrive
Totally.
as well.
Right.
And I'm like, don't you realize we never get it done? It's
No.
never done until we die.
Yes.
And she was like, I never thought about that. But I didn't either before not too long ago. I remember being in my 20s and 30s thinking there was this end date that you just arrived and
Mhm.
everything was in its place and you had all the money and you had all the whatever, and that you could just do whatever you wanted all day. And I suppose there could be that day, but there's always growing and learning and striving for getting what we want and going, well, I love this and I'm grateful for this, but what else do I want? Oh, there's something. And reaching for that and reaching for the next. We should always be reaching.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, they do say if you're not growing, you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that. And I think Melanie Ann Lair always talks about it's like that life is about growth and evolution over a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I just love the sentence. It just sounds so elegant
Mm-hmm.
to me and so beautiful when we think about our life. And I feel like every single day I strive to be less triggered,
Same.
to manage myself and my emotions, and to be more in awareness and to learn something more about myself.
Yes.
Um, and I mean, learn something more about other things too. But I really just love to dive into how I think, the way that I think, how I feel, the way that I feel, even
Mhm.
the physiological responses that my body has to my thoughts. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
so fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like it's like every single day, it's like, what cool thing is going to happen today? What else can I do? What
Yeah.
else can I learn? How many other things can I experience in this lifetime
And
that are
what's waiting out there for me?
what's the
Ooh, that I don't
next
even know yet.
thing? I know, like I took this mediumship course, and yesterday I was talking with my mentor and she's like, Sandra, you're gifted at this. You have to do this. And I'm thinking, what? Okay, no way. I never,
You're not really surprised.
I am not surprised, but I
Okay.
also
Because I am
never,
not surprised.
I never really had this desire to like be Long Beach medium or whatever. Like I just like to connect into spirit. I like to talk with my friend who'd passed, my grandmother who'd passed, and I like to help other people. And I feel like I do have this gift. And so when she was saying, well, you've got to do this, like you should charge this for this long. And I'm like, no, I it's not what I want to be known for. It's not what I want to do. However, honing that gift has been fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just think I was 51 years old when all of a sudden I realized that I could hear when I spoke to spirit, I could hear. And what else is out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what if I decided that at 40 I was done? There was no more learning left.
Yeah. It's over, Sandra.
There
No
would
more.
be like, what is the next gift that I'm going to uncover?
Yeah.
What is the next gift that we all are going to uncover? Like, and how many more? I mean, it's just amazing to me.
Okay, there's that. And then
Mm.
there's the example that we are setting for our children.
So true.
Because I never knew, and I'm not knocking anybody because they didn't know. But I never learned. Yeah, you're gonna learn till the day you die. You're always growing. There's no such thing as old age. You know, you don't have to hang it up at 40. It's not over at 40. You know, you're gonna probably be here till you're 95 or 100 years old, based on the people that came before you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do with that time? I didn't get that message. Wasn't their fault. They didn't know it. But my kids get that message.
Absolutely.
And who else needs that message?
Yeah.
Because we can't just say, okay, it's over. I hit that magic number.
Mm-hmm. It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this. I love even just like that my kids are seeing me constantly be coached, constantly like taking new courses or taking
Always
other
learning.
sessions, always learning, and not just thinking, you know, life is about getting a job and living on the assembly line.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I found this new artist, JJ Gray. He is not a new artist. The stuff that I'm listening to from him is like from 2011.
Okay.
So he's been around for a bit, but he is definitely my new crush. And it's totally harmless because I always have these musical crushes. Right. But when I'm getting ready for bed at night, I turn him on YouTube. And I'm going to try to not completely demolish what he said, but he talks before. Like, I like his live stuff better than his recorded things because he tells a story. He's a storyteller.
Okay.
And he seems pretty in sync with us, but I haven't looked him up I don't know what his beliefs are. I don't know what he thinks. I don't want to know because I don't want to have a judgment about it if it's not in sync with me. But the way he speaks makes me think there is something in common there. But he was talking about being in this place, La Clusa, and it's kind of like the vortex. And he said, and someone said to me, you go there to get away from reality. And then he said, well, oh, maybe I do. And I had that thought where, oh, is that what I do? And he said, but then I thought about it for a minute and I said, no, that's where I go to be in reality. And
yeah.
So anyway, what you just said made me think about that. So sorry I interrupted. Carry on.
No, I don't even know where I was going with that. But so it is very true because when we are not in the vortex, like when we're in the vortex, it's like, you know, I feel like in alignment with spirit. I feel like divinely guided.
A direct connection.
Yes. In everything that I say, it feels so free. It feels like whatever comes out is going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And when I'm not there, I'm in my head. I'm thinking, what am I going to say next? What am I
Telling
going to do?
stories.
I'm telling stories. I'm trying to say, don't tell the stories. I mean, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
And I feel as though, so I totally agree with this dude.
Yes.
My son is 20, football player. And a lot of times, like, he will do something and I think, why? Like,
That's so
why?
weird. My kids never do that.
I know. And so I was talking today to a coach that I'm working with, and I was talking to her, and I just out of my in the vortex, out of my mouth said, what's interesting is anytime I judge my son for something that he's done, and I wonder, what the fuck are you doing? I really should take a step back, because right in this minute, right in this second, I realized he's not a 51-year-old female.
Oh. Yeah.
Like, he's not going to act like I would act.
No.
Of
He does
course
not
not.
have your
20 year
perspective.
old, he's a 20-year-old football player.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, and what I said was like, also, he and my husband would wrestle in the living room, and they still kind of do sometimes. And I would watch them and think, your foot's going to go through that patio door.
Tell them the stories.
Right? One of you is going to end up getting hurt. This is a ridiculous game. Why do boys do this? And then I realized, because they're boys and I am not one.
And we cannot understand what they do.
We don't get it.
No.
We don't get it. And I can't expect my 20-year-old son to make decisions as though he was a 51-year-old female.
Nor could you ask your 18-year-old, 19-year-old daughter to do the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I think sometimes I forget, and I think, I want you to do this, and I want you to live like, I want you to never go out. I want you to get up in the morning, go to the gym. I want you to go to school. I want you to work hard. I want you to eat every 2 hours, only whole nutritious foods. I want you to only drink water and protein shakes. I'll give you those ones. And I want you to get a good night's sleep. I want you to go to practice. And then I want you to get up and do it again.
Yeah.
And stay away from relationships, until you're like pro football. And like, it's just not entirely. Now, as a 51-year-old mom, yes, that's what I would do. That is what I do.
But didn't they come here to live their life and make their way and figure it out? And weren't we in their steps at one time? And when we can look at this time of their life and remember when we were there and how, like, it was a bunch of fucking possibilities out there.
Yeah.
And the excitement and the anticipation and what can I create? Get excited about what they can create.
I know.
That's where the fun is for us, for me.
Experience, right?
For me.
And what the experience, whether I would do it or not. Like, it was this like, I don't know, mind-blowing moment in the vortex where someone's spirit was speaking through me and went, Sandra, wake up.
Opened your eyes. Yeah.
You're female. And I'm like, oh shit.
I forgot.
He's not me. That's why he doesn't want to do the things that I want him to do.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that was my
but we do forget that sometimes.
We do.
And we forget to be excited for them and what they're doing, instead of worry that they're going to kick their foot through the window when they're wrestling with their dad on the floor.
True. The good news is his dad would pay for it anyway. So I suppose, I know. Anyway.
All good. Okay. On that note, we're out.
Good time.
Thank you. This was really quick though.
It was really quick and really fun.
I just checked it twice. So we're good on time.
Awesome.
Have a great week. I will see you next Thursday. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.